is also the situation in a dramatic quarter-final struggle between two former champions, Ken Doherty and Stephen Hendry. The Irishman won the last 4 frames yesterday. A match of tremendous high quality. We're going to start in their first frame of the afternoon. Hendry already on a break of 61. Clive Everton and John Virgo already on the edge of their seats.
Well, there you go. It just shows you
61.
When you're playing them along the cushion, and in fact, he seemed to put a little bit too much pace into that, but it was well wide of the pocket, really. I know it rattled, but it never looked in.
No, well onto the far jaw. And enough balls left for Doherty to win.
Well, you called it, Clive. If he made a mistake in that situation, great opportunity for his opponent. And this could be a very big frame now. These are frames that if you pinch it like Ken has a chance, give you such a boost. And for Stephen, it would be a sickener.
Didn't cue this as smoothly as he sometimes does. Six. Ken Doherty 6. Bad mistake. Yes. The referee, Colin Brinded, comes forward to clean the cue ball, which suggests that that may not have been the cleanest of contacts.
Yes, I don't think that was the reason for the miss. And as you say, it was a bad miss. What an opportunity Ken's let go there. I mean, Stephen could just have the cue ball clean just because there's a bit of chalk on. This is a big shot now. It's not there, is it? He's missed again in the same pocket. Another chance for Ken Doherty. 55 points behind, but still a possible 75 left on the table.
One.
Another chance to inflict a body blow.
For the second time in this frame, Hendry pulled a vital pot onto the far jaw of the right hand corner. 9. $50 white, yes. Doherty started his revival last night with a break of 120. Then won a very important frame on the black after Hendry had missed the pink, which would have put him 9-5 ahead. $60. $23. $24.
Couple of key shots coming up now. Maybe play for the red just to the right of the pink into the left centre. That way he didn't have to do a lot with the cue ball. But it's imperative now in potting this red, he gets a good angle on the colour to get on the awkward last red. It's not that awkward. It won't be awkward if he gets a good angle on pink or black, but if he doesn't, then that red will be tricky to get on, and he wants to be reasonably close to it. He wouldn't want to be leaving a long distance pot. He's got a, well, not bad angle on the black. He looks as though he can get to that left-hand cushion behind the red. Well, no, a little bit too straight, really, for comfort. He's thinking of playing the double on this red. So that was a little bit careless to leave
39.
The only option to play a double. But the double could win him the frame.
Beautifully judged. And it was a natural to get black ball position. Although ideally, Doherty would prefer the cue ball to be just an inch or two higher.
Well, he's played that very well to hold for the yellow.
47.
So far so good in this second chance to win the frame. Just from a touch too far. But this is a situation that all professionals practice, clearing the colours. That was a nice
52.
shot. Just a trace of left-hand side, just to bring it off the cushion nicely behind the brown. This is the key shot now, brown to blue.
56.
And that's perfect. Maybe a little straight, but at least he's not going away from the pink, and he only needs the blue and pink to really make Stephen Hendry suffer.
61.
Hendry was in first but missed on 61, and also failed to put away a second chance. Doherty clears to the pink with 67 and goes ahead 9-8, and neither player having the slightest difficulty in adjusting to the new cloth which had to be fitted after a peculiar incident this morning in the 13th frame between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Lee. O'Sullivan, disappointed to miss the blue, tossed the cue up in the air, didn't mean to let it fall, but in fact the butt caught the cloth and took a chunk out of it. So that was why the good men from Riley's, the table makers, had to be working overtime during their lunch hour, fitting a new cloth. An operation that takes possibly an hour, and the new cloth playing exactly like the old one because it's from the same roll of cloth.
And that has answered some of your email questions about whether the cloth has ever had to be put back on at the Crucible. Indeed, it's happened, I think, twice, Steve. That was the latest of them, but first time was against you.
Yes, my recollection was Peter Ebden played a deep screw back against me, and he miscued and cut the cloth that way. But it's very, very rare occurrence, actually.
OK, well, that's number 2. But it doesn't appear to have affected the match that we're watching. It's Doherty slightly in front as we head into frame 18 now.
Not an easy chance, but if this red goes in, could be a few points to follow.
Hendry needs a restorative to his confidence. From that
9.
long red to a pocket has given him an opportunity to get a break going. Whereas Doherty is a great winner of frames in bits and pieces,
16.
Hendry isn't.
17.
And if he's to win, I think he's going to have to win with frame-winning breaks.
Well, that's not like Stephen to miss a cannon like that, Zap, and it's not too bad. He's still got this red onto the left centre, but he didn't have a very good angle on the blue, and he was trying to force the cue ball across. But as I say, he's been fortunate. He couldn't have played for that red and been any better. So he's still going, but he's still got the problem. How does he open that cluster? And he can't do it this time off the black.
The best that he could do was to leave himself this eminently missable red with the rest.
Well, that was a marvellous shot, and he didn't play for the black. That's what made the pot a little bit more difficult using the rest. He's played for the pink, and automatically as he pots the pink, we'll be opening up the cluster. So he's still thinking very clearly.
$37. 38.
Not ideal on the black here. He may have to go up for the red, the other side of the blue here. The reason I say that, if the red wasn't up there, he'd have had to play a cannon in the reds, but he's got the balls open now. All he needs to do is
45.
pick them off.
46.
This is an excellent frame-winning opportunity, but of course he had a better one, an easier one than this in the last, and didn't do it.
$51. 52. Yep.
If Hendry was to break down unexpectedly, it wouldn't offer such a good chance for a clearance from Doherty as the last frame offered, because three reds are in very unpromising positions.
$59.
59 ahead, 83 remaining.
60.
This black, one more red and a black would be sufficient. Just so you know, I mean, there was 83 remaining before that red and the black, but every time Stephen pots a red, he reduces that maximum
67.
by 8 points, because of course that's the red and the colour to follow.
68.
So when he pots this black, to go 75 in front, there'll only be 67 remaining.
$75. 76. 83. 84. 91.
No point in playing for
92.
the black. The highest break at the moment is held by Matthew Stevens at 145. He had a possible 142 on, which would have beat the best that Stevens had in this championship this year, but
98.
there wasn't enough on to beat the 145. He'll be settling for his 100, and I'm certain Clive will tell you how many it is. There's too many for me to remember.
His 563rd century in competition.
105.
He's not bothered about the century, but he's very pleased that he's levelled the match at 9-all.
106.
I think a lot of players would have allowed themselves to be discouraged by the manner in which he lost the opening frame, but he's come back very strongly.
And another sensational shot.
112.
And I think he's one of these
114.
people, Clive, that when he goes to the table, he just doesn't want to miss anything. I know the frame's well over, he's made his century, he can't be the highest break, but you just know that he wants to
170.
pot all the balls. It's a good line, that. Pot as many balls as you can.
$121.
Well, I say that. Bit of an exhibition shot, eh? He's up for this, Stephen. We've got a great match on here, I'm certain.
126.
Hendry's hungry to play and even hungrier to win.
132.
That was a virtuoso clearance. Got to the cue ball dropping in the middle pocket.
132, 7.
His break of 132 brings him level at 9-all.
So Hendry more than hanging in there with yet another fine break. He's third of the match so far. And such is the seesaw nature of this quarter-final that Doherty countered again in the 19th frame to take a 10-9 lead. And he's at the table in the next.
Well, isn't that amazing, Clive?
Yes, he went into the wrong part of the bunch, actually. There didn't appear to be a danger. But there is now.
It's fractions, isn't it? Unbelievable how he could let Stephen get through that gap. It seemed a good safety shot from Stephen. Seemed insignificant, really. Just come off the side cushion, hit the pack. And when he did, he left this opening. The ones that
9.
Stephen Hendry loves to take. much as luck. The cannon didn't
16.
work out exactly as he planned, I'm sure, but well, he's obviously still just on this red. And not a bad potting angle to get on the black.
17.
Well, will he play the stun shot now? Well, he is doing. Pot the red, cannon into the cluster. Got to be careful of being off in the middle pocket here. Well, he didn't play it that hard. He played for the pink, but you could see it was heading that way. I fell for that one myself a few times.
Well, all right in the end.
31. $32. $39.
Choice of potable reds have come out of that split.
$40.
And this is looking good now.
$46. $47.
That didn't go in as clean as he would like, and he wanted to be straighter on this pink. I don't foresee a problem, but just slightly out of position. Okay, but as I say, because he didn't have the right angle on the pink, he's just run away from the red slightly.
53.
I know he's a great potter, but he just puts a little bit more pressure on this pot and position.
54.
Well, technique stood up there all those hours with Terry Griffiths, getting that cue going through straight, and that's all he had to do, and he played it well. And that one even better.
61.
So red, black, and one more red would be more than enough. We started this
62.
final session 8 apiece. It looks certain now to go 10 apiece. And I didn't really have an opinion who was going to win this match at the start of the day.
69.
And I still don't have. If the balls are open and he gets first chance, Stephen Hendry, you fancy he's going to make bigger breaks than Ken Doherty. But as you so rightly say, Clive, if it goes a bit scrappy, then it's the Irishman who seems to come to the fore. I think this match could depend on the run of the balls.
$77.
The match produced a terrific standard yesterday and is doing so again today.
78.
Hendry's 61 in the opening frame this afternoon was overtaken by Doherty's 67 to the pink. Then we saw a break of 132 from Hendry to level at 9 all.
85. 86.
A The more tactical frame went to Doherty. And here's Hendry bringing the match level again
92.
with 5 post-intermission frames to play.
93.
And also it's worth mentioning, Clive, isn't it, at this level
99.
is Stephen's going to make this century now with just this red, and I'll wait for the applause.
100.
Another marvellous. They sort of get a resigned effect with the crowd when Stephen's playing. It just shows you he played a good safety shot, Stephen. Snookered Ken, insignificant escape it appeared at the time. You leave
106.
one red on and you have to sit down, and Stephen's done the rest.
107.
Yes, it's strange how you just don't know amongst so many shots which the most important ones are going to be.
Oh, we forgot to update them. How many centuries is that now, Clive? Is that make that 564?
160.
Correct?
Well, I do listen to what you say. It was 563 last time.
190.
Even in Salford, we learnt how to add one more on.
He likes that one for exhibition purposes.
Well, if you see it, it checks off the first cushion and then reverses when it comes to the second one. We'll have to get Doctor Spin on that.
128. $134.
2 frames ago, Hendry potted every single ball but went in off the last black. Again, he misses the total clearance, so obviously he could have got it if he wanted to. The break of 134 brings him level at 10-all.
He makes it look effortless, doesn't he? But Doherty wasn't fazed by Hendry's fluency and knocked in a break of 117 himself to edge in front again. But once more, the 7-times champion pulled him back in the next to square it at 11 frames all. Both these men went out at this quarter-final stage last year, but neither is giving an inch here. So let's get out there live now in the 23rd frame. Remember, it's the first of 13 who goes through. Hendry holds the initiative in this one.
You join us, though, just as Hendry has lost position on a break of 55. A very fine effort. Pink and black were tied up at the start, and he had to work mostly with the blue. But after carrying the break to 55, this was how he lost position. Just screwed back a little too far via the second red. But he's got second prize, with Doherty tucked in behind the green.
Yes, and it doesn't look as though the natural angle's on to come off the left-hand side cushion, drop to the red near the top cushion on the left-hand side of the table, so he'll be lucky here not to leave a chance. He's trying to drop on the red, I believe, on the right-hand side of the table near the top cushion, but oh, this could go wrong. Well, no, he's trying for this one on the left. It's a great effort. It's a great effort.
Foul and miss. Stephen Hendry.
It was a great effort.
Yes, it did.
Hendry just debating whether to accept the miss or to play this shot himself. Red is on. to right middle. Could win the frame from it.
Well, but in a way, I'm glad he didn't take the miss, because in this situation, quarter-final of the World Championships, with such a difficult snooker that Ken Doherty had, I'm glad that this frame didn't finish that way, but this is a tough shot. But it's there, needs a bit of luck now to be on a colour.
What?
He's 58 points behind. There's still 59 left on the table, so he doesn't have to go for the pot.
He did, though,
5.
leaving himself a long red to right corner.
Yes, Clive, I think the reason he went for it, of course, now he doesn't need blacks off the 4 remaining reds. He always knew he wasn't going to leave this red easy. But at this stage in the match, nothing is. Needs to be on the brown. 53 points behind. If he pots the yellow, he could tie. That would put him 51 points behind with 51 left.
Needs blacks with the 3 remaining reds.
9.
Well, talk about pressure. It doesn't come
60.
any more than this.
17.
Well, he didn't pot it clean, and that's why he's not good on the black. This black is tricky now, and he's got to hold for the red along the top cushion. Played the pot. I don't think he'll be playing the pot on this red now.
24.
Stephen Hendry, when he got the snooker behind the green, looked odds on to win it. Ken's having a look at the potting angle on this red. He'll just have to play it slow to retain position on the black. If it doesn't go in, it's frame over.
It's frame
Doherty,
over,
24.
surely.
One. Eight. Stephen Hendry, 8. And the frame.
Too many snookers to play for. Hendry leads by 12 frames to 11. 1 up with 2 to play. And Hendry has his nose in front for the first time in this final session. Doherty snatched the opening frame of the afternoon with a run of 67 to the pink. Hendry having been first in with 61. Hendry replied with 132. Doherty off in front again after a largely tactical frame. Another great break, 134 from Hendry, 10 all. 117 from Doherty, 11-10 to him. And the last two frames to Hendry. But I wouldn't care to put much on the outcome, John, either way.
No, there's been some high quality stuff, but there's also been, as you can expect in this situation, both players have made mistakes that they wouldn't normally do. And I still think there's a few twists and turns left in this match. And I do not believe that Ken Doherty, even though he lost that frame, is out of it just yet.
Winner of this match to play either Ronnie O'Sullivan or Stephen Lee, who go into their final session this evening, level at 8 all.
Well, this red just goes. You could stun, I suppose, for the black in the same pocket, or run through. Played the run through. It's not safe though. Similar type of shot for his opponent. Made the run through thinking if he could get the cue ball back to balk, the only red he could leave was the one he was playing. He's left another one.
Three. Four.
Pink spot not available.
10.
So that doesn't help Stephen.
Well,
the pink just obviously goes into the right corner, so it's not as bad as I thought.
$70. 80.
Just overrun that slightly. There's loose reds to play for, but normally we'd expect Stephen to pot this blue in, cannon into the cluster, but as I say, the pressure's really on. He carries on regardless. Now, how's your luck? He's not on it. Well, he's on a red, but it's not easy, and he's got a bit of work to do with the cue ball.
Seesaws concentrating
Hendry 23.
on clipping off the edge of the second red to hold position on the pink. And concentrating on that, he hit the red that he was attempting. Too thick.
Could have been a frame match-winning chance. Can Ken Doherty keep this match alive?
One.
Straighter on the blue would have been better. He could have then just rolled it in and choice of reds to the left corner. If he has to cannon into other reds, you always take a little bit of a risk. And that's what he's done. And that's okay. That's okay.
6. So. $30.
Pink back on own spot.
$40.
Oh, he's not bad on the blue. What must Stephen be thinking? Greatest break builder the game's ever known, and he was in the balls. Just maybe one tricky pot and one good positional shot from a place in the semi-final. And now he has to sit and suffer and wonder whether this is going to go to the
90.
deciding frame.
Doherty's already survived 1-13-12 finish in this championship against Mark King in the previous round.
20.
That pink takes him 3 points in front.
26.
So all to play for.
27.
You've got to fancy him, not just for that red, this pink, but for 3 more reds and pinks, at least.
Just dropped his arm there. He wanted to be straight on this red. He's just gone a bit awkward on it. So it's not straightforward now. You may think it is, but well, Stephen's not even bothering to look at the table. I don't blame him. There's nothing he can do now. In it goes.
34.
He's played it reasonably well. This pink obviously goes into the left corner. Used all the pocket.
40.
Now, this is a key shot here. Pot this red, probably play for the blue, but needs a good angle on the blue.
41.
Needs a good angle on the blue. That's perfect. Good shot. Under this pressure to judge the pace like that. Excellent shot.
.46.
He's only just on it.
.47.
Another excellent positional shot. Now 24 points in front. Pot the pink, 30 in front. He still needs 2 more of these awkward reds.
.53.
Yes, but he couldn't get good on the colour, and it's going to take a good shot now to pot the pink and get on that vital last red that he needs to clinch this frame. Well,
60.
what a break this has been. Very impressive, Clive. This has been.
60 under extreme pressure. If he can make it 61, he's got the frame, barring snookers.
He will never, ever make a better break than that. That was a test of everything he's ever practiced for, and it's going to go to a decider, and I think Stephen knows that now.
Doherty 61.
To leave Hendry needing a snooker. Doherty tried to conclude the break by leaving Hendry snookered.
Stephen obviously carrying on. There's 38 points in it. He only needs the 1 snooker in reality, but I bet both players' minds are now getting on this deciding frame, particularly Ken. He can't afford to make a mistake, of course, but well, now he's got the snooker on the last red. We could be near the end of this frame. And if this, well, I thought the red was going to stay over the middle, but both players will, in the back of the mind, be preparing for a 1-frame shootout.
They know each other's games so well. Their personal head-to-head stands at 15 matches to Hendry, 13 to Doherty. They have the utmost respect for each other's ability.
Well, maybe this red goes in between the green and blue. The sooner this red's off, the better. But Ken is thinking of the snooker. And obviously, if he gets the snooker, he's hoping that escaping, Stephen will leave it. But you never know. Could fluke a snooker. He nearly did. But I think there's a gap there. Having to swerve. But the longer this red stays on the table, the more chance Stephen of getting a snooker. And this could be one coming up here. Snooker, but should be easy to hit. Well, it is, because he can get past the yellow. Can he see enough to pot it? He can.
So that puts the frame beyond doubt.
Doherty 1 and the frame.
So this wonderful quarter-final goes the full distance. The superb break of 61 by Doherty under extreme pressure took him to the line, barring snookers, made it 12 all, and it's really a complete toss-up now. Past history doesn't matter, although I do mention in passing that Doherty beat Hendry to win the title here in 1997, and this is just a wonderful climax to a match of wonderful standard. The opening session was utterly superb. There's probably never been a session like it, apart from Hendry versus O'Sullivan in the semi-final a couple of years ago. They were both played so well. Doherty has made 2 centuries in this match. Hendry has made 4, including a break of 141, and a near maximum, getting a kick on his 15th black on 113. But we've moved on from yesterday lunchtime.
Thank you. The deciding frame, Stephen Hendry to break.
This is the shootout. Hendry didn't mean to bring a red down from the break-off shot, but fortunately for him, it's covered by the brown.
When Doherty played his last shot and he shook his head as he went to sit down. He knew he'd left that red on for Stephen. He was fearing the worst, but he's back at the table. The one thing about these deciding frames, you just hope you get a chance, because so many times it happens you never do. And it looks as though it's going to turn into one of those horrible frames, no professional lights, where you've got the balls up in the baulk end and you're going to be playing safe to the top cushion. Who is going to get the first chance? As you say, Clive, about a final frame shootout, it's a toss of a coin. A bit loose from Ken. Makes it a lot easier if you can get the cue ball tight to the top cushion.
Terrific. It was too risky. to take it to middle. He drove it to corner, but perhaps screwed back about 6 inches further than he intended.
Yes, I'm sure he played to get on the black, Clive, but he probably had it in his mind, if it doesn't go in, I'd rather be nearer the top cushion than anything else. Now he wishes about a foot up. I don't think he can cut this black in, can he? I know he can, but surely he can't take it on. Do you know, I think he's eyeing it up. This is a massive shot at this stage of a match.
Flirted with the middle pocket, flirted with the corner.
8. Nine.
But having avoided both, an excellent chance to build up an advantage.
Yes. 50. $60.
On the pink. I think the pink spot is still not available, so it's going to stay up there.
22. $23.
There's no talk from me about frame match-winning chance here. There's a lot of work to do and a lot of pressure. He's picking off the loose ones, or the loose reds, nice
28.
and easy, but, well, I'll be surprised if Ken doesn't get a chance to come back to the table. There's going to be a few tricky
29.
shots, but now Stephen's got the angle on the blue for the shot he plays better than anyone else in the game. Pot the blue and open these reds. And it could have come easier.
34.
He's only got the red along the top cushion. He just didn't catch that red full in the face, and a few times in this final session when he's been carrying to the pink, which would normally be there, he's not hit it full. And this red along the top cushion, boy, this is tough. Well, I can't believe that. What a pot. Under that pressure, and when it went in, you watch his expression. Yes, he knew that was the one. He's still got a bit to do. He's still got a bit to do. Can't believe the balls
42.
this man pots under pressure, Clive, can you?
Terrific. But he was very disappointed with the outcome of that opening of the cluster. He thought he was sure to be on one to left corner.
$43.
And he's still struggling. He can pop the black, but he would like to be about 6 inches nearer to it. plays the butt of the cue.
Another tremendous pot.
50.
A few moments ago, or a few shots ago, I said I thought Ken Doherty would come back to the table because there would be a few tricky shots for Stephen Hendry to play. I think Ken fears, like I do, that he's played those shots. He's played some sensational shots to keep this going. And now it looks like frame and match-winning chance. What's he going to miss?
$57.
I don't think he's going to miss a pot, Ken, but at the moment his cue ball control is a little bit astray. He's come straight on the blue, which he played for. So, good shot to get on the next colour. He needs the blue and one more red and a colour.
The more difficult pink is the shot for position.
Just looking at Ken Doherty there, you've got a feel for him. He's not had a chance, and if this pink goes in, he won't get one.
Yes, of course.
Doherty knows
63.
that he's within a red and a colour of defeat after playing so well.
Yes, what was it? One loose safety shot. Instead of being tight on the cushion, he was 3 inches off it.
$64.
64. There's 67 possible left on the table. If he pots the yellow, he'll need one more red. If he pots the blue, he's 69 points in front with 67 left on the table. Snooker's required. Superb. No other words for it. Under the utmost pressure, the 7 times world champion
69.
has responded again.
This championship tests a player's mettle in the heat of the crucible.
$76.
And if there were any doubts at all
77.
that Hendry is not still a supreme competitor, he's put them to rest in the way that he's played
84.
in this deciding frame.
85.
He's never drawn back from difficulty. He hasn't waited for his opponent to lose it. That's not his style. He has gone out to grab victory by the throat.
91.
A simply superb match. Hendry takes the deciding frame with a break of 91. Stephen Hendry beats Ken Doherty by 13 frames to 12.